The main character is the main character for a reason. And I feel like you have to do a lot of twists and turns to get from that final product or from that final conclusion. And when it comes to Naruto Uzumaki, I don't know what it is with Naruto fans. Everyone wants anybody but Naruto to be main character, and maybe I need to do a if Naruto is misunderstood video, but this guy says that he was wrong about Naruto. Maybe he's talking about the series, maybe he's talking about the character. Let's see what he was wrong about, and let's see if he was actually wrong.
I might have been wrong about Naruto, and I really want to set the record straight, as I think it's important for a person to admit when they're wrong. Even if it's not entirely, it's inevitable after dozens and dozens of manga reviews and recommendations. I'm not going to get everything right. Like, I'm very well. Recently, I've had a lot of time to think about things and ponder upon previous videos that I've done. I feel like that's racist. Watch them because as a YouTuber, you kind of evolve and grow, and your content tries to get better over time. So when you go back and watch those old videos, you really want to delete them. But getting back to the main topic, what did I get wrong about Naruto?
Type shit.
And I think that was my interpretation of the focus of the series. Now, in my defense, Dragon Ball, Naruto, and a few other anime and manga that I've seen and read were series that I read and I saw just for the sake of enjoyment. And that should be the reason one kind of consumes any sort of entertainment in the first place.
For sure.
However, the sad reality is ever since I've started my YouTube channel and expanded more and more into what I review, at
the end of the day, chat, I think sometimes some of y'all comments piss me off in the sense of either y'all act overly dense in debates. Because, like, when I debate you guys, I'll toot my own horn. I don't act dumb on purpose. Apparently, that's, like, the favorite debate tactic in just life, let alone in the anime community. Because I noticed that in basketball community as well. Always at least try to respect where you're coming from and then debunk from there or bring up my points and just argue my own point. I say that to say at the end of the day, dog, if someone disagrees with you on this, but it's just about entertainment.
Slowly but surely sold off my soul and my rights to enjoy an anime and manga and just turn my brain off and have fun with it. Don't get me wrong, I can still enjoy it, just now I have to always be thinking of reasonings for why I like something, don't like it, and slowly but surely I get extremely burnt out. But when it comes to Naruto, I've noticed a recurring lack of appreciation for what the series is truly about, and I myself have been extremely responsible for this and there.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I'll say that I'm not exactly a Naruto tuber. If it's not obvious, I'm more familiar with Dragon Ball than Naruto. I need to rewatch Naruto a couple more times just so I can pick up the smaller details like I do in Dragon Ball. But what I've noticed when it comes to Naruto, he's a pretty easy character to track and grasp in terms of analysis and dissecting the character because, you know, he's the main character. And I've easily made the deduction that no matter how many times I reread or rewatch Naruto, yeah, he's just going to be an underrated character by the majority of the fans. Maybe it's just a matter of like main character syndrome in the inverse. So like when I initially arrived on the anime scene, people were like, you're a main character merchant, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, actually, you'd be surprised who my favorite characters are. Now, Goku, yes, it is Goku. But a majority of anime is actually not just the MC. With Naruto, even if Naruto were to be my whole main character 100%, I know for a fact that a lot of things about Naruto has just been thrown down the sewer. Like a lot of concepts of the character, hell, even just depictions of who he is at all is just completely thrown left. There's many things about Naruto as a character that is just overly got swept under the rug because of either hindsight, watching the series backwards, or just trying to say, well, on some WWE that, hey, Sasuke should have got a push, and then Gaara should have got a push.
And that is the idea of Naruto, hard work, and Naruto being an underdog. Now, let me make this clear. Is Naruto an underdog? Yes, for a certain sector of the story, but that ends pretty quickly.
Of course.
And does Naruto have the theme of hard work? Of course it does. Is that the primary focus of the series?
No.
No, it is not. Look, this should be pretty obvious, but again, many times we as Naruto fans do it to ourselves. The fanbase manages to defend characters like Sakura religiously from a day-to-day basis, but yet then allow slander to characters like Obito and Sasuke. Point is, I'm trying to set the
I ain't gonna lie, he's cooking.
And if you don't somehow believe me, let me take you to the most important and impactful moments throughout the entire series.
This might be the second reaction I agree with.
Gaara. What is the main theme about that? Overcoming hatred.
I'm going to keep it a one-hitter quitter TKO, and he's about to talk about what Naruto's truly about. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I think easily the most underrated fight is Naruto versus Gaara. It to this day will me. Fire, just fourth dimensional brain freeze to my knowledge of the series and everything. I don't know how the this fight isn't universally seen as one of them ones. I don't know. I'll talk about the fight more when it's time to talk about the fight more. I don't want to derail where he's about to cook, because he is about to cook in my personal opinion.
Naruto versus Pain. What is the main theme about that? Naruto versus Obito, Naruto versus Sasuke. Almost Madara's entire character, Tobirama's entire character.
Yep.
The point is when it comes to the most important characters and the most important moments within the entire series, it's a focus on the idea of hatred and how we as individuals deal with said hatred and then proceed to affect others through our own experience. I've had this talk a lot in private with Broken Ronin, longtime friend of mine. Go check out his channel if you haven't, by the way. Amazing stuff. But the reason why I feel like this video needs to be done is, one, so I can set the record straight for myself, but to also really remind people the value of Naruto as a series. It's not entirely just an underdog story. That's not what it's about. Because Naruto, in a very quick amount of time, becomes extremely powerful and is no longer the underdog in terms of the power chain within his own series.
And that's why I say people have, and maybe it's a matter of Kishimoto executing better in terms of making his content, easier to digest for his audience. Because I wouldn't even necessarily say it was quick for him to not be an underdog, because he's always put in situations where he's still an underdog. But Naruto is quickly recognized as someone who is not weak, I would say, for sure. He's you quickly realize, yo, Naruto's not weak. What the? But then he goes from not weak to, well, hey, he ain't weak, but he ain't about to beat no motherfucker Maru. He might not beat a drugged up Sasuke and then beat up an even more trained version of drugged up Sasuke. But at the same time, this is a guy that frame 2K barrage Gaara, 1K casually beat the shit out of, I can't even remember this nigga name, Mitsuki or something like that. It's so easy for a fan who's finished Naruto to rewatch Naruto or to talk about Naruto and then be like, oh yeah, he was never an underdog.
So if your main focus is Naruto is an underdog character, and that is his main theme as a character, then you devalue him much more than he should be. Although ironically, when people do get an underdog character who finds a way to be important without the need of physical strength, then, you know, they hate that character too, so whatever. But the point is when the focus on Naruto as a character...
I mean, is he wrong? I mean, he not wrong. I guess the one contrast would be maybe Rock Lee, but he's not a main character.
Character becomes not about the underdog narrative, but a character
God damn it,
who is
we know
able
it's
to
coming,
stand
Chat.
amidst all of the hatred
We know
that
it's
he
coming,
has,
Chat. That's the ticket of the month.
is incredibly inspiring and beautiful, and I think is more applicable to the world as we continue to move on. Think about every character Naruto parallels. Look at Gaara, look at Pain, look at Sasuke, look at Obito, and look at Naruto himself. These are all characters that have every right in the world to harbor hatred and to want to release that hatred onto others. However, Naruto takes a different path, and he's able to due to the friendship and the camaraderie that he's built throughout his life, because of the people that he's had around him to keep him sane, people that sadly others didn't have. And although Sasuke did have him, he was too blinded in his vengeance to notice and appreciate those people. Is Naruto a zero to hero story? Of course it is. But the most impactful moments in the series is when Naruto has to become strong in his own convictions. Now, I joked about this with Ronin in his video, but think about the most well-known speech in Naruto, and arguably in anime as well. It's not the cycle of hard work, it's the cycle of hatred. Pain isn't a special antagonist because he pushed Naruto
easily.
To
Yeah, if you guys sit here and maybe it's like, oh, I'ma just say that I pray that this is correct for many of you. If you guys find speeches like Neji's more memorable or Rock Lee's more memorable, not gonna lie, that's just unfortunate.
Pain is a special antagonist because he pushed Naruto to confront his own ideology.
I would even consider monologues with Kakashi more memorable.
Filled with hatred and pain and sadness. And to push my point even
further,
I mean, just look at the character who truly is the embodiment of the underdog and hard work in the series, and that's Rock Lee. Rock Lee, I find him to be a bit of a tragic character when you kind of look at it.
Oh, for sure.
Because even though for me at first, to this day, he still serves as inspiration, Rock Lee didn't beat Gaara. He didn't. But yet the inspiring thing about Rock Lee isn't that hard work will always overcome everything, but it's that hard work will take you so much farther than what you originally could have done. There's lots of different worldviews in terms of the idea of talent, so I won't really get into that because the point of the video isn't really to talk about the ideology of hard work, but it's not to prove the point further that even though that is a theme in Naruto, it is not the main and central theme. Let me give a quick analogy. It might not be the best one, but I'll try to do my best.
Go for it.
So imagine if you have an action story, And the action story has components of romance. The main focus of the story is the action, not the romance. But if the audience were to look at this story and give it the main focus for its romantic aspects, then they would clearly be missing the point of the entire series.
That's exactly what the I just said earlier in the video, and with that, welcome to the Light Club, gang. That's exactly what the fuck I just said earlier, bro. It may be it's a matter of hearing a different voice, but like that's exactly how I think people have dodged certain main points about Naruto. I truly believe that people have thought about the love triangles in Naruto, or the realism in Naruto, or obviously the hard work ethics in Naruto, or well, who had the right idea all along in Naruto versus just what the story was trying to tell you all along. It's skewed so many opinions on so many characters, and if not so many characters, definitely Naruto himself. Even if you want Kiba to be the main character or some shit, remember what the story was actually about, and then try to reflect that in terms of, okay, how did this affect X character, Y character, Z character, or how iconic did this make them, instead of these like random subplots to get your shit off.
And they would value it a lot less, because the romance isn't what the author was meant to bring the focus on in the first place. It isn't the object of the author's attention in which he delves the entire character's themes and every action of the character around the romance.
Kingdom with another gifted.
Right? Again, it might not be the best analogy, but hopefully you understand the point that I'm trying to get at. I think by looking at Naruto as this underdog story of the zero to hero and looking at as the primary focus, you lose the real beauty of not only Naruto he was the main character.
When I respond to some of your comments and then we get into a cycle of, oh, you didn't understand the story. No, you didn't understand the story. No, what I'm saying, I be trying to say in the most layman's terms or the most basic terms, and maybe he said it better than me. Dog, if you watch Naruto thinking it's an underdog story, you're going to draw up bullshit, because at that point, yeah, it is bullshit. At that point, if the story of Naruto is that he's always an underdog into the bitter end, or that hard work will always pay off to the bitter end, why would Rock Lee lose after he worked harder than Naruto? Naruto doesn't really make any adjustments against Neji. He just does the same thing over and 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 over again and over again until it works. So I don't like the idea that, yo, Demon Fox power up. Hard work beats talent. I mean, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, but all you did was summon a fox. Get to Shippuden, you're a reincarnation of fucking God. So it's like, it's so many things of Naruto that, yes, it goes to shit if you view it in a shit way.
But every relationship he has with every antagonist. I think looking at Naruto for what it truly is allowing us to appreciate characters like Sasuke a lot more, like Gaara, like Obito, like Madara, like Pain, even more than we might have already done. When it comes to almost every antagonist in the series of Naruto, their actions is based off of how they cope with the hatred and the pain that this world brings. And every one of them reached a breaking point of some sorts. And it's not just one singular event. If you notice with all these characters, yes, and I'm mainly talking about Obito because of how misunderstood he can be, but it's all really these events that slowly and surely stack on top of each other until eventually they reach their own breaking point. Now, to make my point even more clear, that doesn't mean I don't have my issues with Naruto, because I do. But at this point, I've seen so many people misinterpret the main point of the series that I felt like this video was a little bit necessary, especially in today's world with the
If I had to say one random problem I have with Naruto, maybe it was too early to make Naruto this self-actualized guy that's always right.
Theme and the topic of how we deal with hatred, how we continue the cycle of hatred. It's very easy and disheartening to look at everything that happens in the world and to get really demotivated at the thought of it. And it's even more interesting when then you start looking at the aspect of communities and fandoms. I mean, it's kind of like the whole K-pop thing, right? I'm pretty sure their music's meant to be super uber positive, but yet every time I blink, Too Mad is getting some sort of death threat from a Jim and Jungle Book stan, or whatever the hell his name is. The point is just like with the characters in Naruto, in real life, it's difficult to kind of wrap your mind around the hatred that exists in the world. And an even harder concept that I think a lot of the antagonists reach as well is that they're just as responsible for it. As much as I complain and dislike a lot of the things about the anime and manga community, the harsh reality is there's many times I look at myself and I go, wait a minute, you're just as responsible sometimes as the people you dislike.
For
it's a hard
sure
truth to accept that you're doing things wrong. And to me, that's
at the end of the day, when we're having arguments, there's always a somewhat there's always, like, even with me, there's always going to be a point where, yo, at the end of the day, you're just a fan too, buddy. Like, even with the author, the idea that, for example, that I think, hey, any person that sits there and dies on the hill, hey, if Toriyama said it, it must be true, when he is the guy that wrote the story, can always sound the fuck crazy. Now, in my opinion, hey, let's get crazy, because I'm not gonna cap. That nigga be fucking tripping. That nigga just forget shit and retcon shit for Zybes. He does it all the time. If someone were to look at me and be like, dog, you think you know more than the author? I mean, who am I to tell the nigga yes?
That's why Naruto has become even more special as a character. He has every right in his world.
Now, just don't be a loud dick about it.
He has every right.
If you loud and wrong.
Every right. Yet he chooses not to. And in today's world where people feel entitled and empowered through playing the victim, I think it's a strong message that everyone should take for themselves. It's almost scary to see how certain individuals are completely incapable of coexisting with another human being who doesn't agree with them on every single topic. If somebody doesn't agree or see eye to eye with you on a certain worldview, oh, well, then they simply must fear and hate you. The ability to have conversation and show love to people who don't think exactly like you and who aren't just like you is something that I see is dying more and more, especially on the internet landscape. So
guys, when you guys see these divisive videos, or when you guys see someone have this one political opinion that doesn't align with one specific political opinion you have, guys, don't frame one, determine that you know who that person is, despise said person or whatever, just because they're not 100% your shadow clone, bro. But even in terms of anime, if I think that Super Saiyan 4 is a top 4 transformation, but it's not the best, if I think that Super Saiyan Rage is fucking ass, if I think the God of Destructions movie was severely underrated, and if I think that Blue is dumb as shit, if you agree with all 4, that does not mean we will agree on the next 10 takes. If you agree with none of the 4, that does not mean we won't agree on the next 6 takes I have. And if we don't agree on the next 10, that does not make me dumb and you smart. These are just opinions and takes on the series, bro. People don't have to always agree. Y'all don't have to get disrespectful or act like one person just doesn't even remotely know what they're talking about. At the end of the day, dog, people ain't gonna always fucking agree, and that's fine.
So yeah, I think the themes of Naruto apply now even more than they did when the series was originally coming out. So once again, I wanted to set the record straight. Naruto is not a story about an underdog. It never was. The same thing with My Hero. Deku's more of a chosen one type of character than he is an underdog. But Naruto specifically is mainly about overcoming hatred.
Deku is a chosen one.
And dealing with it in a positive way. As dealing with it in the easy way, which is to seek revenge, to push that pain onto others, will only lead to an unhappy life and inevitable self-destruction. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you
Yeah, I actually don't disagree with damn near anything he said. I guess the only thing I would say is that Naruto is an underdog longer than he implied, but Naruto's definitely portrayed as not weak early. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you think Naruto is overrated. Let me know if you think that the story was truly about hard work. Maybe what if you think Naruto was about being a chosen one prodigy like how Deku was? Which is take care, stay blessed. I'll get your thoughts next time.